The next morning, Esabelle's father went to check on the old hunter. But the room was empty. A servant said he had limped away at dawn. Looking at the bright world after the rain, the father sighed, hoping the old man would recover soon. At breakfast, he asked Esabelle if she would accompany him to the Duke's residence. She refused, and he did not force her. As they prepared to leave, servants suddenly panicked in the storage room. The necklace was gone. The old servant cried, "Master, the diamond necklace is missing. I locked it myself and checked it at midnight, but now it's gone. Everything else is still here. Only the necklace is missing." The father was shocked. After a long silence, he sighed heavily. "Let's go. Hopefully, the Duke will forgive us and give us time to find it." Esabelle's father and mother arrived at the Duke's residence. The old Duke and the Duchess received them. The Duke wore an expression of anger and remained silent. The Duchess, with tears streaming down her face, reproached them. "My son fell ill as soon as he returned last night. He has a high fever and is still unconscious. If you didn't agree to the marriage, so be it, but why did you have to humiliate him?" Esabelle's mother hurriedly explained, hoping to gain forgiveness. Esabelle's father lowered his head and said nothing. The Duke glanced at his wife, coughed lightly, and said slowly, "Very well. Leave the items here and go back. I will persuade my son. I will make him give up." Esabelle's mother burst into tears and said, "Your Grace, we have brought back all the gifts Henry brought to our home. But we cannot find the necklace." Esabelle's father lowered his head even further in shame. The Duke and Duchess widened their eyes in shock. "What? You lost the necklace? The Queen's tear? Do you know there is only one in the entire world? It is priceless." Esabelle's parents repeatedly apologized, promising they would find the necklace, even swearing with their lives. The Duke slammed the table in anger and ordered them to be thrown out. After they left, the Duke turned and roared at his wife. "You foolish woman! For your precious son, you dared to have the king secretly steal his wife's necklace. Just wait. When the Queen finds out it's missing, she will have our entire family executed. Your useless brother won't be able to protect us." He stormed off in fury. The Duchess sobbed to herself, "I only wanted my son to marry that little witch, then secretly return the necklace. How could they lose it? These damned low-born fools." A month passed, and Esabelle's family still could not find the necklace. The entire household fell into deep panic. One day, the Queen discovered her necklace was missing. She flew into a rage and executed the person responsible for guarding it. Someone reported the king's theft to her. The Queen went mad with fury, causing chaos in the palace. She shouted that she should never have allowed her father to bring such a thief into the royal family. Everything he had came from her. The old king, humiliated and enraged, ordered the arrest and execution of the Duke, his own brother-in-law. The guards seized the Duke and brought him to the palace. The king's sister knelt on the ground, crying and begging for her husband's life. She claimed that everything was Esabelle's parents' fault, that their daughter had bewitched her son with dark magic. The king deeply loved his sister. Their parents had died when they were young, and he had raised her like his own daughter. He ordered Esabelle's father to be arrested, stripped of all property and land, and commanded his wife and daughter to find the necklace. If they failed within 1 year, he would be executed. Esabelle's family collapsed. Her father was imprisoned. She and her mother were driven onto the streets. The servants were dismissed. With the help of her father's former subordinates, they rented a small house and survived on their remaining savings. Every day, Esabelle and her mother returned to their confiscated home, searching desperately for the necklace. Half a year passed, and they found nothing. Her mother often visited her father and returned in tears, saying he had grown terribly thin. Eventually, her mother fell ill from exhaustion and anxiety, feeling her life slipping away. One day, pale and weak, she insisted on taking Esabelle back to her long-estranged family, hoping her father would forgive her and take in her granddaughter. They returned to the unfamiliar home. Esabelle's grandfather had grown senile and barely recognized his daughter. He forgave her and agreed to shelter Esabelle. But not long after, he passed away. Esabelle's mother's condition worsened. As the one-year deadline approached, she finally died from overwhelming anxiety. Esabelle's aunt drove her out. They refused to take in a relative whose father was about to be executed. Esabelle became homeless. She wandered the streets helplessly until she met her old friend Stephanie. Stephanie kindly paid to rent back the small house they once lived in. The day of her father's execution finally arrived. The day before, she visited him. He was emaciated. Neither of them spoke of the necklace. They had completely given up. Returning home, Esabelle wept uncontrollably. Thinking of her father's impending death, she fell into despair and even considered suicide. At that moment, Stephanie arrived with news. A powerful and wealthy man was willing to bribe those close to the king to change her father's death sentence to life imprisonment, and later find a way to save him. But the condition was that Esabelle must become his mistress. He would cover all her living expenses. At first, Esabelle refused, but persuaded by Stephanie and thinking of her father's life, she finally accepted her fate and abandoned her dignity. The next day, her father was spared execution and transferred to a better prison. She never told him about the deal. A few days later, Stephanie brought the mysterious man. It was the old Duke. Esabelle was stunned. Furious and humiliated, she demanded why he saved her father and bought her chastity. The Duke knelt before her, confessing he had loved her for a long time and would give everything for her love. Esabelle wanted to drive him away, but for her father's sake she surrendered. She became his mistress,